So it's not a scoring race, but again, a testament to the depth of the programs. Good experience to get these guys out here. Washington and California and Oregon State, I'm not sure if Oregon State would bring a 4 to the IRA. Washington and California certainly will bring 4s out to the IRA, the Men's National Championships, where these guys will be 2 of the lead crews in the 4s event for the national championships. So California off the start there, they were a little misaligned there. As you saw the start, the wind had just kicked their bow over a little bit. Coxon has to come and correct back. What thing you don't want to end up in is in those red buoys. You don't want to get tangled up in the buoys. You don't want the blades to catch one of the cords on a buoy, or even just to nip a buoy and kind of make your blade not do what the athlete wants it to do at the catch. But California's riding right over there close to those port side buoys there, as we see off the start.
Cal and Washington met. Yeah, we mentioned, good to refer back to some of the times from the duel between the two last month, about 3 weeks ago, and Cal was 27 seconds better than Washington in the men's varsity 4 in that duel.
Yeah, again, I think that was a real statement piece by these young athletes from California. Their volunteer assistant coach for Coach Franson, Jack Smith, is the young man who works with these athletes in the 4s. He did a nice job there. I think Washington's got a little bit deeper squad now. Health concerns kind of alleviated. The guys are feeling good, feeling ready. I think we're going to have a very tight, close race here between the 2 lead crews. So we're going to see what we got for a picture here once we can see a good margin between these 2. We'll try to get up to take a good look. But here from the water, you can see really tight race here between Cal and Washington. California just dominated at the duel. Washington is not going to let them do that same thing here. Does look like California's got the lead, but we're going to have to wait and see if Washington can take advantage of that move that they make right around the 1,000-meter mark and kind of get themselves back in and on terms with California.
We got the drone back, so credit to the crew for getting that thing fired back up. We had about a second advantage for Cal through the first 500 meters.
So it does look like California kind of took a big press right after 500, though. I think they've separated out and gained another second or so of a lead here on the Washington crew. So as you're looking down from the drone here, that's California in the middle. Oregon State is up on the upper part of the screen, and Washington on the left. So California in the middle, Oregon State on the right, Washington on the left here. And it looks like California is doing a very nice job just in this straight tailwind coming down the course. So the time's going to be a little quicker for these 4s. It makes things just a little bit lighter on your catch. And each stroke, they can just really press that boat along. So a good view now as we come alongside the drone. You can see California matching well and really have pressed in this second 500 meters. I don't know if they're going to get that same 27-second margin, but at about 1,000 meters in, they've sure done a nice job separating out from the Huskies here in the Varsity 4 event. Oregon State, just a little touch of open water down on the Huskies here in that 3rd place position. And here we go. We got that California crew out front. You can see these varsity 4s, they're a little different than the 8s. The coxswain is in the bow, so tucked in down into the bow compartment of the 8. You can see their head just there behind the bow seat rower. They're down low, helps with balance, center of gravity, kind of keeps the weight of the hull a little bit, the weight of the crew a little lower in the hull, makes it a little bit simpler balance and coordination between the crew there when the coxswain's in the bow. But the disadvantage is they can't see the action of what's going on with your crew, so you can't go and quite make as much coaching as the coxswains in the 8s make.
The next men's race, the second varsity 8, is one that Cal and Washington were neck in, neck in.
Yeah, that was a great race. That second varsity race down at the Redwood Shores was a good challenge from Washington to go up against California there in the second varsity race. Just looks like a little too much room here for the Huskies to make up on California. California just doing a nice job working together here in the varsity four. So we're high above. You can see each time they push off, you can see the strokes, the puddles that the blade makes, the little marks in the water you can see. And what those guys in the four are looking at is how far can we push those back? There are a couple of things that those California rowers can see. They can see their puddles, they can see the action of their movement, and then they are wanting to push that Washington crew back further and further. Every stroke, they want to just get a little bit more, a few more inches of lead on each of those.
Well, what a great, and there's so much to talk about today as relates to Stanford, given where they were a year ago, but what a great year Cal is having after, the struggles in particular last year.
Yeah, I think Coach Franzen kind of talked about that just last year, and Berkeley and the restrictions on the University of California training environment to come back and put together a great year. They've added depth to the team. Some athletes that weren't around last year have returned to campus. But just when you're getting great speed out of these younger athletes, really shows how deep and developed this team is. And we'll talk a little bit more about the cohesion of the California crew as we get into some of the later races. But California is doing a nice job. Ryan Pendergrass there peeking out, his head peeking out of the bow there for the Golden Bears. Matthias Helbo in the stroke seat. Zyvan Kujda in 3, Dane Halke in 2, and Jack Hansen in the bow, putting together a great race for the Golden Bears here. They've got to be very satisfied with this lead, comfortable. When you're in the final 500 meters and then you get into the red buoys, you know that you've got it locked up. You don't even have to really press. Just stay comfortable, stay calm, stay composed, and you can finish that win out nice and firm. So Washington just coming up to the line here. Washington with a good open water lead ahead of Oregon State in third. So there's Washington crossing the line now.